Hey everybody, thanks for watching A Guy Doing Stuff. I'm Adam, and today I'm going to be attaching the back and the soundboard to the sides. I am super excited about this video because closing the box is kind of like a major milestone in guitar building. There are a couple things I've done to the sides since you guys last saw them back in episode 6. I put them back in this jig, and there's a little tiny knot right here on the sides that I just glued down a piece of Zero-Cote to reinforce it. And then I also cut a little notch in the end block here because that's where the truss rod's gonna sit. Now that I have that done and the back and the soundboard are braced, I'm finally ready to glue everything together. The first thing I'm gonna do is fit the back. There's plenty of overhang on my plates right now, so I mark where the top should be and stick it down on the sides in the go bar deck with the radius dish as the backing. While it's clamped down like this, I put marks on the sides where the braces are, then take it off and use a straight edge to transfer the marks onto the rim. I'm going to cut notches just shallow enough to fit the ends of the tapered braces. For each one of these notches, I make a couple cuts that are about 1/16 of an inch deep, then just pop these little guys off with a chisel. Now I dry fit to check that my notches match my braces. If they don't match, I mark which areas I need to take material off of and file those areas down until I have a good fit. So when I was fitting it one of those times just now, the back cracked at the upper bout right here. I'm gonna go ahead and still move forward because I think that's a pretty easy fix, and I'll just be extra careful and hopefully nothing else cracks. I am gonna go ahead and do one more practice run with all the clamps I'm gonna be using for the glue up. I don't have enough of these flexible rods to clamp it down well enough, and I didn't want to buy more because it's like $50 for a dozen of these. So I'm going to be using some other clamping mechanisms. The first is this 2x4 with sticks screwed right here and here. I'm going to put 2 little coals down where the blocks are, and then put the 2x4 on it so the sticks are sitting on the coals. Then I can put a bar clamp on each end to apply pressure. The other mechanism I came up with is just a threaded rod with a turnbuckle. I have 4 of these I can place on and cinch tight against the top of my go bar deck. Besides those, I'll just be filling in all the empty space with the flexible rods. Now that it's all centered and fit exactly where I want, I'm going to put a couple of these pieces of scrap wood with double-sided tape here, buttered up against the side so I can easily find this placement again when I come back to glue it on. These are only to line everything up where I want it, so I'll take them off right after I glue it down. Okay, here we go. I usually just wait an hour or 2 for glue to cure, but there is some tension in this because of all the curves and radius and everything. And this is pretty crucial glue up here, so I'm gonna go ahead and let it sit overnight just to be safe. Yeah, that looks like it went really well. I got a good seam around the whole guitar. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this overhang off now. I'll clean it flush in another video. For now, I'm just gonna take it down to within about 1/4 of an inch. It's pretty much the same process for the soundboard, but it's a little more tricky because the X braces come across the rim at an angle. I cut the notches for the transverse bar and the upper ends of the X braces first, then dry fit and recheck my marks for the notches for the lower ends of the X braces and tone bars and cut those. I use the same setup to clamp the soundboard down too, but I'm a little more careful because the spruce dents a lot easier than the Zero-Cote does. You might have noticed that I'm not using the jig for the top. The sides should be stable enough with the back clamped on that I don't need it. I'm so happy that part is over and done with. That's a really stressful gluing situation, so it's good to just have that out of the way. There's a lot of tension going all different kinds of ways, so I'm glad that's done. The soundboard also went on really well. I just cut the overhang off. The crack on the back is really not that bad. I'll probably just mix up some epoxy and sawdust and rub it in there. In my next video, I'm going to be cutting the channels for the bindings. There are a couple things I wanted to mention before this video is over. One is the notches you cut in your sides for the braces. They should fit the ends of your braces really tight, but that's really hard to do, so not all of mine fit super duper tight, and I'm just gonna have to live with that. That's okay for me. The other thing is this Ziricote, it looks amazing, but my big takeaway from this guitar so far has been that Ziricote sucks to work with. I love how it looks. It's beautiful. It's just really brittle and temperamental, and I wanted to try something different, so I used Ziricote, and I'm gonna be glad when this build is over. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Worksharp Tools for sponsoring this series, and don't forget to hit subscribe to stay up to date on my videos.